Guys, Effectively Bad here. Today we are, I'm sorry about this, but I originally recorded this video as, I actually originally recorded this video earlier in the week, first time using Bandicam. Did not realize that it didn't record computer sound and my microphone sound at the same time. I now know better, so now I've turned the mixing on, or whatever it's called. Um, and now I can actually record videos with my sound on. Yay! And I decided to start with a redo of my first video I was going to do, which is an announcement and two other things that'll come with the announcement. The announcement is I'm in a league that I made myself, a draft formatted league. We UCL draft format, so 3 OUs, 3 UUs, 3 RUs, and 3 NUs. I'm gonna go over all my picks, and finally I'm gonna go over my team building for the first week. I originally made the video before I played her. Now I've played her. So, I'm going to have to talk about my team while not revealing what worked and what didn't work, and not revealing what happened in the video. And then I'm going to have to post-narrate the replay, sadly, but all the others will be, of course, live commed if I can do that. I don't know how easy that'll be, but I'm going to try my best to do so. So, starting with my draft analysis, my first round pick was Mega Metagross. Sorry about that. I made the mistake in the original video as well. I can't believe I did that twice. Anyway, my first pick was Mega Metagross. I had the 5th pick of the draft, and we didn't really banter on ban anything. We were just like, if you want to pick it, you can pick it, I guess. The draft started out Mega T-Tar, Klefki, Gengar, Ferrothorn. I decided to draft Mega Metagross because there's no replacements. There are no replacements for it. And I guess I should explain what I mean by that. You don't pick a bulky water for your first pick. You don't pick a fast electric type for your first pick. Now, there are some exceptions to that, but the reason being is you can get a good fast electric type later in the rounds. You can get a good bulky water later. But you want to know what you can't get later? Weavile. You want to know what you can't get later? Skarmory. Want to know what you can't get later? Later, Clefable or Sylveon or a good fairy type or a fast ghost type. Dragon types are starting to get better. Only one Mew, only one Jirachi, only one Victini, only one Infernape, only one Mega Sableye. And you want to know what there's only one of? Mega Metagross. This thing is an absolute monster looking at its stats. The thing that's so disgusting about this thing is the fact that it has a higher base defense than Skarmory's. Yeah. Mega Metagross is bulkier than Skarmory is. Straight up. Better in every single stat. Mega Metagross can be physical, special, mixed, even defensive. There are so many different things I want to do with this. Bullet Punch, Earthquake, Explosion, Grass Knot, Hone Claws, Ice Punch, Iron Head, Meteor Mash, Power Up Punch, Psychic or Psyshock if I want to run special, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Rock Slide, Thunder Punch, and Zen Headbutt. And then if I want to run like a Choice Band or something, I could run Trick maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that because we don't have to run the Mega Stone every time, but I don't know when that would be very useful. Anyway, and then its ability Tough Claws boosts both of its stabs, Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt, while also boosting every single one of its physical moves other than Earthquake. Everything else, unless I'm missing something, gets boosted by this thing. What wants to switch in to a Tough Claws Meteor Mash? coming off of base 145 attack. Not much. Moving on to my second pick is Skarmory. While all of its stats are worse than Mega Metagross, it has the blessed way of having a better typing for defense, a better defensive typing, a better recovery, and excuse me, finally a better move pool for a defensive Pokemon, and it gets sturdy. That helps too. This thing's not tying to anything. Spikes, Stealth Rock, Tailwind, Taunt, Toxic Whirlwind, Iron Head, Drill Peck, even Brave Bird. If you want to run some weird weak armor agility set, double dance arm though. In all seriousness, it also gets defog for hazard removal, which is very crucial to my team. It's my only defogger. I originally grabbed Zapdos, but I decided to drop it as a free agent. Now, past that, Skarmory doesn't really do much. It gets taunt, I guess, but Skarm is just there to wall things, really. Especially considering how offensive my first three picks are, other than this. Then there's Weavile. Weavile, there are so many different things Weavile can do. It gets such good coverage. Such good coverage. I don't really need to name it off, considering, I mean, just its two stabs, Dark and Ice. It gets Ice Punch, Ice Shard, and Icicle Crash, and then I guess, does it get Icicle Spear? No. And then, for Dark, he gets Knockoff. The most used move in the game. Yeah. And then it gets some good coverage. Shadow Claw, Sub, Swords Dance, Taunt, Toxic, Alex. No. No. Even flying coverage if you need it. I don't know when you need that, but hey, maybe. For those pesky fighting types. And Fake Out. It can so many different things. It can run Sash, it can run Orb, it can run Choppleberry? Maybe? Eh. I don't know. I don't really think that's actually going to happen, but maybe. And it gets Pickpocket, so if you lose your Sash, if you were going to get one shot, you then steal the item if they made contact with you. So you steal their Toy Scarf or Toy Span, or whatever they had leftovers, maybe. Who knows? Moving on to my first UU pick, I got the fourth? No, I also got the fifth pick in UU. This is a Pokemon that, in my opinion, is the best Pokemon in the format. And it gets so many different great things. It gets, I mean, just look at this thing's coverage. Just fighting fire coverage is amazing. But it gets U-Turn, it gets Thunder Punch, it gets Will-O-Wisp, Slack Off, Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Shadow Claw, Taunt, Nasty Plot, because its stats are the best. 104, 104, 108 attacking stats are amazing. It gets Iron Fist to boost those powerful Mach and Fire Punches. It gets Thunder Punch as well to get boosted by that. I think Shadow Claw might get boosted by it as well. Poison Jab gets boosted by it. Power Up Punch gets boosted by it. It gets Gunk Shot for fairies. It gets Flare Blitz. It gets Flame Charge. It gets Fire Blast. It gets Earthquake. Close Combat. Bulk Up. It gets so many different great moves. It gets Acrobatics if you really want to run that. Or maybe Aerial Ace for fighting types as well. It gets so many different great moves. And like I said, those stats are amazing, and it can run so many different items. Lefties, if you want to run a bulky set, Life Orb, Focus Sash, Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. Expert Belt is something I've started to use. It gets so many different great moves because, so many different great items because of how versatile the Pokemon is. You'd be surprised at how well a bulky set works. Moving on, the one type I couldn't grab an OU that I really wanted, but I decided against it was Flores. I mean, was Fairy. So I had to either grab this thing or Whimsicott. I wanted the average, the good Fairy. I didn't want to have to deal with Whimsicott's shenanigans. So I decided to grab Flores. Flores gets surprisingly good coverage and hits surprisingly hard. Base 1 special attack stack is not something you want to deal with. Obviously, there's the obvious aromatherapy, moonblast, um, wish protect set, which is boring. It can also run toxic. It can run sub. It gets grass, fairy, hidden power, psychic coverage. Not the best at all. I don't know why I did that, but hey. Yeah, it doesn't get the best coverage, but it can work on certain sets. Um, Now, while the special defensive set, that's fine and all, and that's something I probably will use multiple times, it gets Calm Mind. It gets a base 112 special attack stat. I want to use this thing on the offensive. I don't want to just use the wall set every single time. This isn't laddering. I want to use the HP fires to bust out those steel types. I want to use specs. I want to use Calm Mind. I want to use what else? Gets sub. Synthesis is useful. Toxic to stall things down instead of just being a cleric. It gets so many different moves. It gets magic code. You can light screen up if you want to. So many different great things, and people don't really realize it. Florges is a lot better than people give it credit for. I would even say it's more versatile than Sylveon is. Now that might be going too far, but Sylveon doesn't get grass coverage. Then again, grass isn't very good coverage. So, yeah. Anyway, I I I was joking about that. I don't actually think it's a better offensive mon than Sylveon, but it's a lot closer than people may think it is. It, yeah, and also Sylveon doesn't get synthesis, meaning that it can't automatically heal up that 50%. It has to wait a turn. Moving on to its stat build, 75 speed is a lot better than you might think it is. 78 HP is usable. 68 defense is something I'm going to have to invest in a lot. 112 special attack is monstrous, and 154 special defense. A lot of special defensive walls don't hit 344 special defense when they're invested. I think Rotom hits exactly 344. Let me see. Rotom is that good. Double special tank, I guess. That's not a special tank. What? Um, yeah. I mean, that's base 107 special defense, and fully invested only hits 344. If I wanted to fully invest in it, it almost hits 450. Just, yeah. Moving on to my last UU pick, I originally grabbed Zapdos here, but later in the draft I decided I forgot to grab Shaman, so I decided to pick Shaman. Shaman is, well, the team name is the Boston Sceptiles. Shaman is my mascot. No, don't think that it's Sceptile. I didn't grab Sceptile, sorry, but Shaman is the mascot mon. It gets the best coverage possibly in the game, other than maybe Octillery, but Octillery gets everything, so, and then maybe Mew. But other than those two Pokemon, this thing's coverage is absurd. Let's count the types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 7 different types. 7 different usable types. That doesn't even count. Um, that doesn't even count Ominous Wind. which I could count if I wanted to. It doesn't count a normal move. Um, and then it can run any hidden power. There are so many different things this thing can do that makes it great. Seed. Nobody wants to take a life orb seed flare. Life orb plus natural cure plus rest equals destruction. That is the formula for destruction. Destruction equals seed flares plus energy ball plus natural cure plus rest. And this is the only thing that gets all four of those. So it is the definition of destruction. If you want to, you can run sub SD. I don't know why you do that. Taking the base 125 power, 40% chance to lower to half the special defense of a target. But you can do it. It also gets synthesis if you want to run anything different. It also gets leech seed if you want to run sub seed with giga drain. That's also very usable. So many different things this thing can do. Healing wish. Healing wish. If you want to, the ability, just the ability to revive whatever monster. I mean, what are you gonna do if Mega Metagross gets a second life? What are you gonna do if Infernape gets a second life? What are you gonna do if Weavile gets a second life? And what are you gonna do if I'm not gonna spoil my next picks. Actually, no, I'll spoil them. I don't care. You'll see them in a second. What are you gonna do if Exploud, this choice picks? I'm gonna skip Castron in just a second. This choice specs boom burst going to do? What are you going to do when choice specs Exploud gets a second life? You thought this thing was down at 1 HP and paralyzed, and like about to go down to Stealth Rocks if it switched in or whatever. I guess then Healing Wish won't work, but you know what I mean. Switches it to 1 HP and then gets that Healing Wish up, and then Boom Burst just clicks. I click it 6 times, the game's over. Yeah, Xcloud was scrappy. One switches in. A Steel type, you're funny. Focus Blast. I'm pretty sure it gets yeah, it gets Focus Blast. That's hilarious. No, a Rock type Focus Blast. Anything else? Bet the space 210 power after stab, not including choice specs. I'll put that in perspective for you. For any non-normal type, self-destruct is base 200 power. Explosion, without any stab, is base 250 power. This would hit 210 after stab. That is stupid. And then it gets coverage to back it up. It gets because it's a normal type, it gets Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Overheat, Shadow Ball, Surf, Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt. It gets equal stats on both the spectrum. Both sides of the spectrum. So that could be usable if you wanted to. Choice Banded Crunch hurts. Yeah, that's Xcloud. Moving on to Gastrodon. Sorry about that. Gastrodon is what the team needed to tie itself together. Water Ground is one of the best types in the game, only being weak to grass, which is kind of hard to get covered on because it's not useful against that many other types, especially since I think that's my only Pokemon on the team weak to grass. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Miltank runs Sap Sipper resistances or immunities to grass. It's gonna be hard to fit that in on something if it's not stab or like. It's just gonna be hard to fit it on something. Yeah, it would just be hard to. And the typing alone makes it amazing, but it also gets Storm Drain, making it immune to water types. Water type moves. It gets good coverage, Clear Smog, Blizzard slash Ice Beam, Earth Power, Earthquake. Hidden Power is gonna be useful. Memento, Pain Split, Recover. Rock, not rocks, sadly, but rock coverage. Sludge wave, if you want to cover like grass and fairy types at the same time. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Scald, one of the best moves in the game, and toxic. And well, and then its stats aren't very good. It gets great HP, okay attack, bad defense, good special attack, okay special defense, and horrible garbage speed. Garbage. Sigilyph, my insurance policy. Of the two teams that I've built so far, only one that I've used, but I've built two. There's only two Pokemon I haven't used yet. Sigilyph and Electivire. Evire because he hasn't had a good matchup yet. And Sigilyph because I don't want to have to waste one of my 6 Mons on an insurance policy. Magic Guard, Focus Sash with whatever coverage it needs. I don't want to have to waste stuff on that. I probably will, but I don't want to have to. Oh man, this thing gets better coverage than Shaman does. I'm sorry. This is the thing I wanted to count the typings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 different types. And then Charge Beam is even useful, so that's 12. Wow. Yeah. That's why I like versatile mons, because look at this move set. That's absurd. I mean, you don't know what I'm gonna bring. You have no idea what I'm gonna bring. Because it gets so many different moves. It can fill 3 different movesets with just attacks. On the other hand, it's weak to rocks. It doesn't get defog. Its defenses are meh. And I don't like 103 special attack stat, nor do I like 97 speed. Just under the 100 speed mark, sadly. Moving on to my NU picks, I got the second pick in RU, I got the second pick in NU. Weezing is the best Pokemon in NU, being completely honest with you. Destiny Bond is great. It gets great coverage on the special side of the spectrum. It gets Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt, Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic Spikes, Explosion, uh, Explosion, all that good stuff. It gets Pain Split for recovery if you need it, Memento even. It gets so many different good moves, and Levitate's one of the best abilities in the game for a ground weak Mon. Base 120 defense is amazing, base 85 special attack is great, 70 special defense, 60 speed, 65 HP. I'll be right back, I have to go do something. Okay, we're back, sorry about that. I just had to move my Skype page over, and because somebody was talking to me during the recording, and I don't want to have to waste their time. But anyway, I also found out in these 2 team building sessions that Miltank is extremely useful. He's one of the few Pokemon that gets 3 great abilities. Thick, Fat, Scrappy, Sap Super are all great in different situations. Thick, Fat to counter that one fire type that you need to counter. Sorry about that. Scrappy as... I mean, it gets Body Slam. It's normal stab. And it also gets great fighting moves, Hammer Arm. I think does it get Drain Punch? No, it does not get Drain Punch, but it also gets Power Up Punch, Seismic Toss if you want to hit those ghost types with the powerful Seismic Toss. Brick Break if you want just a regular fighting move. And then support moves galore. Stealth Rock. Where is Stealth Rock? Stealth Rock, Sub, Thunder Wave, Toxic, Heal Bell, Milk Milk drink is so useful on this thing because it just switches into whatever. Whenever it gets forced to switch out, you just drink your own milk and it's yummy and you're back up to full. And then it's stat spread. Base 100 speed is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Base 105 defense is great. 70 special defense is pretty, yeah. But it also gets base 80 attack, which is usable. Base 95 HP is good. They're all usable stats other than special attack, but when would I use a special attack on a mill tank? Sorry about that. Moving on to my last big Evire. I decided right before my last pick to drop Zapdos, pick up Shaman, scoop it up, and use Evire. It's a lot more usable than you might think. Base 95 speed sucks, yeah, but it can run a Scarf easily with its coverage. It gets all three of the elemental punches, if I recall correctly. Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, of course, and then Fire Punch, yes. It has enough special attack that if you need to, you can run special set with Discharge, Thunderbolt, Focus Blast. Yeah. Uh, sorry. It gets Low Kick if you want to cover that T-Tar or whatever. Something I might need to think about redoing on my second team. Uh, that's something I'll be talking about later when I do my second team building video. Hold that off until then. It gets Volt Switch, it gets so many different usable electric type moves. These are all very usable, other than maybe Thunder. But Thunder, Thunder Punch, Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Wild Charge are all moves that I might use at some point in the league. It also gets Earthquake. That's the note I want to end this draft analysis on. Finally, my first team building team for Mackenzie and the Brooksville Breloom. Her team is Mega Sableye, Scolipede, Breloom, Cloyster, Entei, Machamp, Rotomo, Registeel, Aromatisse, Sandslash, Kabutops, and Scyther. She had the wheel for OU, the last wheel for OU. She had the the sixth pick for UU because one person didn't show up. She had the sixth pick for RU, and she had the first pick for NU. She has Mega Sableye. A problem. Mega Sableye is an utter problem for any team. Luckily, I have Florges. She has Breloom, which can be a problem with Spore. It gets, I'm in the middle of having a conversation with a guy while recording this video. This is a bad idea. Anyway, it gets, she has Scolipede, which, Destruction. If it sets up a Swords Dance, gets Hughes, you just have to hope that your priority kills it. She has Entei, Sacred Fire burns everything. Machamp, Guts is the problem. Cloyster sets up a Shell Smash. Don't like that. Rotomo can be a problem. Registeel walls all. Aromatisse is a good cleric. Sorry. Sandslash can set up Rock and Spin. Kabutops can set up Rocks and Spin and be a Rain Sweeper if she wants it to. She has some things that benefit from rain. I don't really know if she has a good rain setter though. And Scyther can set up and sweep if I'm not careful. So what did I bring for her team? That is the good question. My good viewer. This is the team I brought. My original thought was that wheezing whilst almost every single one of her uh, Pokemon on. It was one of her almost every single one of her Pokemon. Sludge Bomb does a lot of damage to almost everything. Fire Blast does good damage to the rest. Thunderbolt for the Tops if it comes close to her, and Scyther maybe, and Pan Split for recovery. The CV spread is specifically made to outspeed. I want to say it was Breloom, and then bop it with a Fire Blast or Sludge Bomb. It still gets to it KO'd by Choice Band and Flare Blitz though, and then it gets to it KO'd if it gets burned by a Sacred Fire. Moving on, for Florges, in the draft call, she realized that some of her first Mon when she drafted Machamp were very fairy weak. Considering she had Mega Sableye, that's a very big problem. And I started joking around. I'll just bring Specs Florges and 6-0 you. Well, even though Specs Florges doesn't do that much work to her team, I still brought it. I'm a man of my word. Yeah, that's basically it to the set. It switches into Mega Sableye, does whatever, clicks Moonblast, dies. I didn't even do Calix for the set. It's Florges with 354 special attack in Moonblast. HP Fire for the Regigrass, not for the Cloyster, and Psychic for Scolipede and Breloom. Whitney the Miltank might switch into Entei. It switches in on the Sacred Fire. If it gets burned, it Heal Bells. If it doesn't, it Bulk Drinks up as the Entei switches out. It can Earthquake and Body Slam the Entei, Body Slam to Para the Entei, Earthquake to... I think it's 2-hit KO. I think it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO. I don't remember. But mad damage with max defense. Entei can't outdo anything to this thing. That's basically it. Fluttershy the Shaman. Like I was telling you, Shaman is great. Great coverage. Air Slash, Seed Flare, Dazzling Gleam. Rest is what I brought to this game. Seed Flare to punch holes. Dazzling Gleam for Mega Sableye. And I guess Machamp. Air Slash for the Breloom. For the Breloom, man. I wanted to be able to counter that Breloom because it was my switch into Breloom. Didn't want Whitney to get put to sleep because she is my heal beller. Moving on, I have Fidel Gastro. Surf, because I didn't want Guts Machamp to activate. Earth Power for just dealing damage to the team. Recover and Sludge Wave so I could hit both Breloom and Aromatisse at the same time. Max Special Attack because I need to do massive damage to this. This isn't really more of a tank. And finally, Infernape, Flame Ryak here. Gunk Shot, Fire Punch, Mach Punch, Close Combat does massive damage to our entire team. I'm running Expert Belt instead of Life Orb because I want to fake the Scarf or the Band or Specs or whatever she thinks I'm bringing. So, for example, I pop a Close Combat on the Registeel, she switches out to Aromatisse, and, you know, it does minimal damage, or she switches out to, say, the Scolipede or whatever, it does minimal damage, and then I pop it with a Fire Punch or with a Gunk Shot or whatever the Pokemon is, I pop it with a super effective move. If the Mega Sableye comes in on the Close Combat, it's not gonna like a Fire Punch. Sorry. It's definitely not gonna like a Fire Punch after Iron Fist. It is super effective against most of her mons, everything but I think Mega Sableye and going through her list in my everything but Mega Sableye and I think Entei does not want to switch it on close combat. Doesn't really, I mean, I can switch it into a Fire Punch and then it gets close combated. So yeah, that was my team for Mackenzie. Tomorrow I'm going to be uploading the video battle against Mackenzie in the Brooksville Prailooms. I'll see you guys then. Hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye.